Very good. So let's go. Also, I do use two monitors. So if you see me looking off to the left, it's just because I try to be a little tech savvy and I may be looking at my other monitor. All right. All right. So here we go. Hi, my name is Cynthia Taylor. It's nice to meet all of you guys. I am Florida born. Any Florida born people? I can't be the only one. I know this is a very transient state, but Florida born, U.S. Army vet. Where my veterans at? Give me a thumbs up if you're a vet. I know I got a few. I always have a few. Army's even better, but if you're one of those other ones, I'll accept. Any veterans in the building? What? All right. So a little bit about myself outside of being from Florida, U.S. Army, was in the military for about 11 years. I was in the reserves, the Army, and then the National Guard. Worked in logistics and finance, even went to officer candidate school, but I decided to leave the military before being commissioned to go work in finance. I've worked primarily in finance, both in nonprofit and for-profit. I've been teaching for about 20 something years, even though it wasn't my primary field. I've always taught as an adjunct or an associate faculty while working in finance, nonprofit, and banking. I've been consulting for about 8 years now. My last consulting job was with the Department of Commerce. So yes, I was one of those federal workers that got let go, but that's all right. That's all right. We're real. It hurt a little bit, ouch, but we're okay. So I've been teaching here at Southern Tech off and on about maybe 3 years now, 3 years, but I've taught all over. I've taught here in Florida at a couple of colleges. I taught in Africa. I went to Africa. I taught in New York, a lot of different schools in New York. And now I'm here teaching back in Florida. Also, with that being said, I lived all over. So if anybody from Chicago, Jersey, New York, you may hear some of that come out of me. Excuse my French if I start to have a Jersey accent. I'm still trying to get over it, but that's that. All right, so as you can see, my background, I'm just be graduating with a Juris Doctorate in law and technology. I have a doctorate in finance and an MBA in finance, master's in cybersecurity. Hopefully may do patent attorney somewhere down the road. All right, that's my life. Enough about me. Quick thing about you guys. I'm just going to do this in a group because I kind of want to know who's in the building. I want everyone to kind of see who's represented. So really quick, just by thumbs up, hopefully your campuses have shown you how to use all the emojis. Give me a quick thumbs up if you're from Central Florida, if you're from the Orlando, Sanford area. Okay, Orlando, Sanford's in the building. We see that. What about Arbondale? Arbondale down south. Go ahead on ATA as well. Okay, I see a few Arbondales. All right. Who am I missing? We got Tampa. Is any Tampa in the building? All right, y'all see it. Y'all see it. Omari, your hand is up, and I'll get to that in a second. Not sure if you have a question or you're just participating. If your hand is raised, that means you have a question. You have a question? No. Okay, very good. All right. Who's in the electrical program? Give me a thumbs up if you're in electrical. Okay, a little bit, a little bit. What about welding? HVAC? Y'all see it. Oh, wow, look at HVAC. Y'all see him? Wow. What about the VA program, veterinary assistant? Y'all see it. Okay. Why did I do that? I want you guys to see who's represented. So that means this is a statewide class. and it encompasses VA program, electrical, welding. I don't think we had any welders, did we? And HVAC. What I will attempt to do, guys, what I will attempt to do is to make sure I touch on each of those respective fields. And guess what? I may call on the experts, which are who? You. May call on you guys to share some of your background because some of your other colleagues may not know about welding or HVAC or VA, and it'll be fun to get to learn a little bit of that, right? So I just wanted you guys to see that. Now, how do you participate? There's several ways that you can participate. For the most part, don't worry, I'll be doing all the talking. However, I do a lot of interaction with your emojis. I may say, give me a thumbs up, give me a shout out, give me a something, and I want you to respond. A lot of times I do that because I want to make sure you understand where I'm going. If you have a question, however, raise your hand. Do we all know how to raise our hand? If you have a question, raise your hand. There we go. Okay, y'all got it. Y'all quick studies. I like it. I like a responsive crowd. Very good. If you have a question, raise your hand. Even as I'm talking, like I said, I got a lot going on. I got 2 cell phones. I got 2 monitors. This is a tech class, technically enhanced class. So I need to pay attention. You can stop me at any time. If I see your hand raised, I will ask you what it is that you need, even if I'm in the middle of my presentation. So unless you have a question, don't raise your hand. Sometimes people get confused with the emojis and the hand raising, all right? So if I call on you, that's what that's about. You can go ahead and put your hands down. Thank you so much. If you want to speak, please feel free to speak. You don't have to wait to be called on, especially if like something's happening with the glitch in my system. Sometimes you don't see the presentation. Just say, hey, excuse me, Miss Taylor, there's something going on, or I have a question. Feel free to come off your mics. All right? Everyone understand? Shelby and Ian, you can go ahead and put your hands down. Good with the thumbs up. Okay, you guys are quick studies. I like it. All right, thank you so much. And I'll just wait for Ian, if you can go ahead and put your hand down, or else I'm going to think you have a question. Very good. All right, let's get started. Thanks, guys. I know, how many graduates do I have? Let's just get to it, because I know y'all trying to get out of here. I know you're trying to get out of here. What is that? 1, 2, 3. Okay, look at all those graduates. Very good, very good. So I know, especially for those guys, but maybe for some of you as well, you may be asking, why this class? What in the world? I know how to get a job. I have a job. I worked my whole life. Be honest with yourself. Go and tell the truth. If that's you, give me a thumbs up. Why this class? You're curious. Maybe your deans have told you, maybe they haven't told you. That's all right. Why this class? Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly why this class. There's 2 reasons. 2 reasons. One is more obvious than the other, but so let's tackle that one first. One is an academic reason. Every single diploma, bachelor's, whatever you go after has requirements, right? And so when you get your degree credentialed, and you submit to the Department of Education, and I mean your school, they have to get it approved. This class, believe it or not, you know who wants it more than Southern Tech? Your employers. What? Clutching my pearls. What do you mean, Miss Taylor? Your employers. I have sat on a board of, we call them professional academic review boards, and all tech schools, both this one and ones I've worked at in the past, we have 2 meetings a year with employers. And you know what one of their number 1 complaints are? Can anybody guess what their number 1 complaint is about new graduates? What do you think they complain about the most? What do y'all think? They're not prepared.
The like transition or like professionalism.
Professionalism, that's a good one. We'll be discussing that in this class. They say you don't know how to interview. Can you believe that? Can you please make sure your students know how to interview? Go ahead, Anthony. You had a question? Your hand is up. Nope. All right. They want you to be prepared. They want you to understand why you're at their company. They want you to do research. They want you to understand your industry. As a matter of fact, everything that we've packed into this course comes directly from the employers that are going to hire you. Not just at this school, at every school I worked at with these types of classes. As a matter of fact, let me give you the other reason why this class. Many years ago, and I don't know if there's anybody here that was born in my generation. We'll be talking about generations in week 4. But back in my day, and you'll hear that a lot from me, you used to have what we call student support guidance counselors. Anybody remember that? Guidance counselors? Do they still have those? When I went to UCF back in 2000, we had guidance counselors, right? And even before then, when you started a new job, your guidance counselor gave you a little bit of guidance and they sent you on your way. But when you started a new job, guess what the job gave you? They gave you a mentor. And your HR person, because back in those days, they expected you to stay at the company forever. Maybe your parents could tell you about those times. And you would get assigned a mentor. And then the HR department would walk you through how you were going to be with their company for the next 30 years. How many companies do you think do that in 2026? They don't expect you to be there for 3 days, better let alone 20 something years, right? So they did away with that. And so where they did away with it, no mentorship, no let me walk you through it. Most of them did away with their education programs. How many companies do you think you can find that actually pays for tuition nowadays? Those days are long gone. So years and years ago, I would say maybe 10 years ago, colleges said, oh my God, we have to start doing it. So this class is done all over the country. This is not just a Southern Tech class. And it's done to prepare you for your career, because jobs don't do it anymore. So we have to do it, right? Let's talk a little bit more about that. We'll continue to talk about that. I want you to understand something. And you tell me if you think this is true. Do you think it's important for tradespeople to understand how businesses work? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that statement. Is it just important for you to understand your job, or is it for you to understand the business side of your job? Give me a thumbs up if you think the business that is going to hire you wants you to understand their work. You think that's fair? Yeah, because understanding business is a powerful asset to you. You need to understand how leadership works, what's entrepreneurship, the financial side of business. Who plans on starting their own business one day? Any entrepreneurs in the building? Oh, so you definitely need to understand. You definitely need to understand. What about those of you that want to go work for, I don't know, one of those maybe Duke Energy or one of these government contracting or whatever, and you plan on finding you a really good job and working your way up to the top? We call those entrepreneurs. Any entrepreneurs in the building? You think they don't want you to understand how business works? It's very important for you to understand that if you look off to the side here, it talks about it's important for tradespeople to understand business as it relates to business ownership, as it relates to money, as it relates to project management. Many of you will be working in project management. Maybe some of you already have. And most importantly, for career advancement, how are you going to manage your career? How many people know what they're going to be doing 20 years from now with their business? Give me a thumbs up if you have an idea of what you're going to be doing 20 years from now. I like to see it. I like to see it. I like to see it. There's a saying that says, if you fail to plan, what happens? You fail to plan. Are you planning to fail? What's the secret to success? Does anybody know what the secret to success is? Anybody ever know what that secret ingredient is?
Failure. Keep trying.
What's the secret to success? Well, I like what you're going. I like where you're going with that. That's that secret sauce, right? Sometimes it's good to fall and get back up. I see where you're going with that. The secret to success is very simple. It's preparation, what you're doing now. Are you not preparing yourself? And when the opportunity arises. So you have to ask yourself the question. So what does that mean? That means that guess what? Opportunities arise all the time, but how many people are prepared for the opportunity? Opportunities come by all the time. So what we're trying to do in this class is get you to understand this class is all about you. We're going to get into a whole bunch of things. It's going to start going really, really, really fast. So prepare yourself for the ride. The class is all about you. If you fail this class, it's because you just decided that I'm not going to put any effort into me, which is kind of sad. I hope you don't do that. But so if you fail this class, you have just decided, I don't want to think about my future. I just want a job. I don't want to think about my future. You just spent however many long in school for your future, but you don't want to plan for your future. You just want to go get a job. I know all of you guys are eager to go get a job, right? How many are excited to start their career? How many people are decided to start their career? That's very different from going to get a job. You've had jobs. Now it's time for a career, and a career looks very different. Give me a thumbs up if you've had a career and you're moving into a new career. This is a new career for you? Let me see. Okay. All right. So here's how we're going to do it. In this class, the number one project is for you to do a career plan. However, there's a lot of steps we have to get to before we get there. It's very important for us that you have, and for you tech guys, you'll appreciate it, a toolbox with a lot of tools in it that is going to help you be successful. You cannot get a job unless you ace an interview. Is that not correct? It's a sort of competition. But the question has always been, what the heck is happening in the interview process? I am here to demystify what interviews are all about. And I promise you, it's nothing that you're thinking. I've only interviewed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. I have a certification in HR, plus all those other titles I've told you. And I'm going to tell you what is really happening in the interview process. And I'm going to tell you from the technical standpoint, because I'm a very linear person and I do everything by the numbers. So I'm going to give you by the numbers how to ace an interview and exactly what types of questions. Some questions are behavioral. Some questions are what we call stress related. They're not just, hey, how you doing? Why you want to work here type questions. I'm going to demystify that for you so you can put that in your toolbox. And when you go into an interview, you're going to ace the interview, whether you get the job or not, because you are going to be prepared. You understand the strategic point of why we have interviews in the first place. We're going to talk about that. Another thing that I'm going to put in your toolbox is something you've probably never heard of before. We call it informational interviewing. Now, if you're as old as me, you may have heard of it as picking someone's brain. Anybody ever heard of that before? Picking someone's brain? We know that. We know what that's about. What is that about? How do you pick someone's brain? What are you looking for? Somebody tell me. What are you picking their brain for? I give you a hint. It's on the screen. What am I looking for if I'm picking someone's brain? Do I want to know what they had for dinner last night? You're looking for knowledge. How do you learn anything? By doing or by somebody showing you, right? Or somebody telling you. The big key to being successful, one of the keys is networking. How do you network? Most of us don't have golf carts that we can go to the golf and network on. We're not in these high places to meet these type people. The tool that you use is informational interviewing. This is called picking people's brain. People love to tell you things. You know, everybody has that uncle on Thanksgiving dinner that likes to tell you about your life, right? We got that next door neighbor. We got grandpa. We know how it is. They say if you want a man to mentor, go ask him a question. He'll tell you all day. Women, we love to talk to, but men really love to talk when you want some advice. Go pick someone's brain. Guess what? That's what we do in business. We build our networks by doing informational interviewing. It is a huge toolkit, and I am telling you from high corporate all the way down that you use to get connections. Why is that going to be important for you? Because, my friends, networking is key. This may hurt some people's feelings. 70% of jobs are filled through networking. Oh my God, what are you trying to say? It's all about who you know? Yeah. Does that come as a surprise to anyone, though? That's not a surprise. It's about who you know. Is that a bad thing? Well, as someone that has had to hire a lot of people, I'm sorry. If I get a position referred to me by someone and someone gives me a resume and someone vouches for them, I'm probably going to interview that person. And if I like them, I'm probably going to hire them. And I probably won't ever post that job on the internet. It costs money. It takes time to find people. It's so important to network, and we're going to talk about that. But guess what? You also need to know how to write your resume. Give me a thumbs up if you have a resume. That's really good to know. Really good to know. Oh, look at that. Okay. Very good. So what are we going to do in this class? You will be working very closely with career services. I'm sure they've already told you that. They will help you write your resume because they're the ones that are going to help you with that first job, right? So they need to see that resume. However, I'm going to show you the mechanics of writing a resume because guess what? This may hurt someone's feelings again. You are going to be writing your resume for the rest of your career. Over and over and over again. Miss Taylor, do you mean when I look for a job? No. Even when you're looking for a job, you know how many times you have to write that resume? Every time you apply for a new job. What? I just don't take that one resume and send it out to everybody? No, that's not how it works. Not if you want to get a job. I'm going to show you the technical side of writing resumes. When I'm done talking about resumes, you are going to be a pro at writing your own resume. That is a tool you have to do. If you cannot get past the resume review stage, you're never going to get the job. I'm going to show you how to get past that stage. All right. One of the biggest things that you're going to be doing in this class, I'll be talking about in a second, is your career plan. But first, let's switch gears a little bit before I get into that, because that's a big one, and just talk about the structure of the class. Number one, you are in an online class. What that means is the course opens up today and it stays open until, was it February 29th, 29th to 26th, 26, I think, at 10 p.m. However, every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have what we call a live session. Welcome to the live session. The live session only goes, and I know this is going to make some of us happy, maybe 45 minutes. As we get into it, it may even pare down to 30 minutes because really with the hand, really with the hearts. Okay, y'all doing too much. Okay, I got you. Okay, fine. Once we get into the class, you will be doing more work. So there's no need for you to see a whole bunch of me. So I will be on here. I will give you your marching orders for the day. You will know what you're going to do, and then I will release you to go do it because you have work to do every day. Most of the work is not that hard. Obviously, as you go into the class, it's going to require a little bit more of you. So the first week is going to be really, really easy, which take advantage of it, okay? But there's something due every day. So it's very easy for those of you that says, oh, this is easy. I can knock this out in no time. Yeah, you can, but don't say, okay, I'll just wait till Saturday and then I'll knock it out, because come Saturday, now you're trying to knock out 10, 15 things. That may seem really easy, but nothing's easy when you have 15 of them to do, right? People fail all the time when they try to do it that way. The best way to win in this class, get it done, you're done for the day. Now, there is some flexibility. There is some flexibility because you'll be happy to know that once this class opens on Monday, guess what? Everything for the week is open. What, Miss Taylor? You mean I can do Tuesday's work too? You sure can. I can do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Hey, do what you got to do, my friend. It stays open until Sunday. I want to give you flexibility. Here's the one thing you don't have flexibility with: participation. I knew there was a catch. Yes, there is a catch. Every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hopefully if you had orientation in your class, you know this already, you have to do participation. We're at the live session. Is that participation? No. Once the live session is over, I will give you a participation question that you must answer by 12:30 in order to get attendance. If you do not answer that question, I will mark you absent. But you saw my face, Miss Taylor, at the live session. You saw how I was fighting that sleep. I see some of you yawning. I get it. I know you're tired. I was up at 6. I had to drop somebody off at school. I'm tired too. This is not how you get participation. How do you get participation? You have to answer the participation question by what time? 12:30. This afternoon, 12:30. I have to say this afternoon because somebody actually thought it was 12:30 midnight. I didn't know. Someone asked me that before. 12:30 is this afternoon. Do we understand that? This is very, very important. I'm going to be saying this a lot. Some people still don't get it. By 12:30. So that means if you've come to this session and you do not post the participation question, you will be marked absent. Yes? All right. Now,
Real quick, Miss Taylor. The participation question, does it differ like in like how long it is, and you know like how many sentences? Would it be like a paragraph, or is it like one question?
that's a perfect question, and thank you for asking. It varies. 90% of it is one sentence. But it depends, because most times it's you telling me and it's personal to you. Remember, like I said, most of this class is respective to you. So I may ask you a question and you may answer it in one sentence. Somebody else may answer it in 4. As long as you tell me what I'm asking, I don't care. But you'll see once
All right,
I give
thank
you
you.
the question, right? Now, I'm glad you asked that question because there are a few participation questions, and this is where people tend to fall off. Once we get into weeks 3 and 4, well, you got to do a little bit of work. It's not going to be simple, right? So that's why I'm starting you out slow. The first ones, people need to get used to it. They're going to be simple. Weeks 3 and 4, they may not be so simple. You may have to do a little research, but you still can get it done, right? That's why I give you back most of your class time so you can get it done. There are people that have jobs. This is your morning class. I'm not trying to make you, be in school all day. You're not in school all day. Technically, from 9 to 12:30 is your morning time. Some people block out this time so they can do other stuff. So I want to give you back as much as your time as possible so you can get your work done. Make sense? All right. The best way to contact me is through email or text. I have given you my contact information. We are going to walk through the class together. I'm going to show you where it is. Don't worry about that. Yes, I want you to text me, which is what 90% of your teachers will say not to do. However, I want the communication. I am a very get it done person. I've already told you I'm military. I don't like to procrastinate. If you have a question, text me. If you need help, call me. If it's an emergency, text me and say, Miss Taylor, I'm going to call you. Do not send me an email. Please, if you're in the middle of a test and you have a glitch, don't send me an email. If you're trying to do some work and you have a problem, do not send me an email. Send me a text. Please put your name on it and what class you're in. I have 4 classes. Just say AM Orlando, so I'll know who you are, and then ask the question. All right, tell me who you are, AM Orlando. Text me whatever you want. Miss Taylor, this is Sam from Orlando AM. I have a quick question. Can I call you? Yes, Sam, give me a call. Or I have a quick question. Is this what you wanted? It says 250 words. Is that right? Absolutely. I'm fine with that. You understand? I send out announcements every day. It tells you what you're going to do for that day. It tells you what you're supposed to do yesterday. It is impossible to get confused in this class unless you just don't show up. You don't watch the video. If you're not in the live session, you don't read the announcements. Like, you are really want to be lost. That's the only way you are going to get confused in this class. I over communicate. It's impossible for you not to know. Yeah? So you don't have to worry about that. If I'm lost, I'm going to call Miss Taylor. I am your first line of defense. Your campus is there to support you, but in the classroom, call me. If there is something I cannot help you with, 9 times out of 10, if it's something technical and I'm not there in front of you, then I will ask you to reach out to your campus. The only thing you should need your campus for in this class are technical issues. I can walk you through them. If you're a little bit techie, I can help you. But if not, and you need somebody there, call your campus. If you have anything to do with something outside of this classroom, call your campus. Financial aid, whatever, that's your campus, not me. Yes? Anything to do with the classroom, call Miss Taylor. If you reach out to your campus, they're just going to call Miss Taylor. So why even go through all that? Now you got to wait for the answer, and you could have just called me. All right, very good. So, like I said before, all assignments are open on Monday, and they stay open throughout the week. They close on Sunday. This Monday, every assignment, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are open now. They close on Sunday. When can you do them? Anytime you feel like it, before Sunday. So if I have to run out to take my kid to the dentist right after this session, I did my live session question before 12:30, but there's other assignments you may have. Sometimes you have 1 assignment, sometimes you have 2. I don't have time to do it today. Can I just do it tomorrow? Absolutely. Oh, but I have to go out of town tomorrow, so I won't be able to do tomorrow's assignment till Wednesday. Can I do Mondays and Tuesday on Wednesday? Whatever you desire, as long as it's all done by Sunday. Yes? Makes sense? Any questions on that? The only time you don't have until Sunday is in the last week when the course ends on Thursday. None of us will be here on Sunday, so you got to get everything done by Thursday. Any questions? All right, let's hit it. Now, very important. How is the structure of the class? This is your syllabus. The participation, so I want you guys to see something that's important. Participation / attendance, right? Watch this. When you answer your participation question, it's worth 100 points. It also triggers your attendance. Does that mean you can't get attendance unless you do the participation question, which is also worth 100 points. Does that mean I can do my participation question wrong? I can get attendance and not get 100 points? Yes. If I say, what's the color of the sky? And you say the color is pink, you'll get attendance, but you'll get a 0. You understand that? So you can get the answer wrong, which you won't get the answer wrong because 90% of the questions are about you, but you still get attendance. Your attendance is not part of your grade, but the participation question is. And it's worth 25% of your grade. Some of the people that I see struggle with passing the class, most times it's because they don't do that participation question. Sometimes you believe it, the easiest thing people don't do. It baffles me. I don't know about you, but I always like to pick the low-hanging fruit first. Me, I'm going to get my 100 points. If that's the easiest thing to do, knock it out. Get it done. You have assignments every day. Every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have an assignment. It's not a big assignment. Some are bigger than others, but they're 40% of your grade. I want you to see this because you're tracking your own grades. So if you say, okay, well, if I miss, 10% of the assignments is 40% of my grade. If you think mathematically like me, and I've done that in class myself, I said, okay, I can, get a few points off here, get a few points off there, and still pass the class, right? We all do that. So it's important for you to see how the percentages are outlined. You do have a final project. That's that career project, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. And it comes in 3 parts. Y'all see that? Final project, 15% of your grade, 3 parts. 3 parts. It's important for you to do all 3 to get that 15%. If I do 2%, am I going to get 15% of my grade? You'll probably get 10% of the final project. But I want you to see is 3 parts. The first part we'll talk about tomorrow. You have a midterm next Thursday, 10% of your grade. You have a final on the last day of class, 10% of your grade. If you want to pass this class without having to worry about, did I pass this class? And you have to pass this class to graduates, make sure you do that midterm and that final project. Please, please, please. Sometimes people, they do the participation, they do the assignments, and they skip out on the things that count the most. All right, we'll continue to talk about that. All right, so let's forget all that. We are going to worry about what's in front of us, and what's in front of us is what's due today, right? So that's what we're going to worry about. But before we get into that, I am going to walk you through the class. Give me a thumbs up if you've been in the classroom. I'm going to walk you through it. You don't have to worry about what to do. There's a couple of things I need to show you. What I want you to do now is to open up another tab, and you are going to follow along with me because there's something you need to do. Hopefully, I know you guys come from awesome campuses, so most of you already know, but I still want to make sure for those that don't know how to get into the assignments. Go ahead, Stacy. Or you just telling me you've been in the class? Feel like somebody's calling me from the.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to raise my hand, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. I feel like a student is calling me. Is a student calling me? Somebody from Fort Lauderdale? If if we're in class, guys, do me a quick favor. Shoot me a text because some people call when they have issues, and I get it. Shoot me a text. Now, remember, I have not given you your question yet, so please do not go anywhere. Your question and today's assignment will happen after we've walked through the course. All right? All right, so give me a second. I'm going to go ahead, Carla. You had your hand raised?
Nah, I didn't have my hand raised, but I was looking over the. I'm pretty sure you're gonna go over this, but for the Monday welcome, there's no 100 points or anything next to it. That's just going over everything that we like for the course, correct? There's no points assigned with that.
For the welcome? No,
Yeah,
no,
week one Monday welcome.
no, no, there's
All
no
right.
point. You're looking at the to-do list?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, no. No, I'm about to
All
show
right.
you now. Nope.
Thank
Good
you, love.
question. Nope.
Appreciate it.
All right. So, um, I'm going to share my screen. Now, I'm just sharing you a class. Like I said, I have 4 classes. ATA, yours when you log in, is orange. That's the only difference. So theirs is blue, yours is orange. So don't forget about that. That's the only difference. All right. If you want to follow along with me, you probably went to dashboard. You see me circling it off there, right? And when you went to dashboard, it gave you your class. And then once you clicked on it, it took you to the home screen. I like to call it the landing page. Is everyone here that's following along? If you're not following along, it's fine. All right. When you get to this landing page, there's a couple of things I want you to pay attention to. Number one, and I'm going to put myself in student view so we can look at it together because my stuff has a lot. What I want you to pay attention to, obviously, is this the landing page? Hold on. Let me just make sure. Let me go home. Yeah, no, this is the landing page. Sorry. And if you guys were wondering what Carl was talking about, it's over here to the right. You see where it says week 1 welcome? That's what he was to do. That was just, read the welcome. That's that announcement, right? So this is your landing page, home. And the first thing you want to pay attention to, it always tells you when the class begins and ends, and it ends at 10 p.m. on that Thursday night. If you scroll down, it also gives you my office hours. Now, I don't want you to pay too much attention to that. We have to do that by requirement. I've already told you you're free to reach out to me at any time, right? Anytime. Even though I teach this class in the morning and the night, I don't want you to feel like, oh, it's nighttime, so I can't reach out to Miss Taylor. You can, just don't call me after 10 o'clock, right? So you got 12 hours to reach out to me, right? There you go. Or, so you don't, I'm always available, so you don't have to pay too much attention to that, but there you go. Now, your live session starts at 9 a.m. Everybody should know how to get into the live session, but if you don't, right here on the home page, this left button is how you get to the live session. Now watch this. If you cannot make the live session, that's okay. We won't hold it against you. You won't miss anything but all the fun. The session is recorded. As soon as the session is over, give me 15 minutes or so, and I post the live session. All you have to do, let's say your kid had a doctor's appointment. You came back. I didn't see the live session. I got to answer this question by 12:30. I still can answer the question by 12:30. Absolutely. All you have to do, come here. Miss Taylor says she talks and talks for about 45 minutes. So that means by 10 o'clock, that live session should be posted, right? So You come here and you go to where it says past classes live recordings, and you click on it. And what you are going to find, it's going to say Monday, February 2nd, live session. You click on it. It's not there yet because we're still in it, right? And it's going to take you to a YouTube video because I post all of my live sessions on YouTube. You're going to watch that video, probably going to scroll to the end and get that question, and you're going to go to that question and post it by 12:30. You still can get attendance if you do not attend the live session, as long as you post your live session question by 12:30. You're liking me better already. I can feel the energy. I don't have to listen to her. I can just watch my video. Yeah. Yeah, go have your coffee, do your thing. We're adults. Go ahead, Lorenz.
I had a quick question. So will I'm not gonna get dock points if I don't attend the meeting and I do like the recording, because like you said, if something comes up or this, that, and the third.
It was just like you're here, Lorenz.
All
It was
right, and
if you
then
were here.
I love
You
that
can
for me.
watch the live session. You don't have to come.
I love that for me. And then I was looking at the submit assignment. I see that it's not like discussion based. So would I have to go into like Word or something and then type it out?
Yeah, I'm going to show you all that in 2 seconds. Good question.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. So this is how you get your live session questions. Sounds good? Yes? Any questions on that? Now, I'm just going to go back to the home page. I could scroll down and go to next, but I want you to kind of see, think of this little side here as, I call it the table of contents, right? So I'm just going to go back home. On the home page, we know this is where we can scroll down. We can attend the live session, or we can do that other gray button and look at the live session. Now, here is something that I do. Some other teachers don't. I put little shortcuts to each week. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You can use the table of contents over here to the left and hit modules. It's called a module because they're just little blocks. They're equal to week 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a module. This is a module. This is a module. This is a module. You don't have to use my shortcuts, but I just put it here to help you, right? The first thing that you have to do, we're in week 1. So let's just go ahead and click week 1. So let's just, it skips us down in the table of contents to week 1. You cannot do anything in this class until you do your online pledge. How many people have done their online pledge? I know some of your campuses walk you through that. Very good. All right. If you haven't done it, let's do it together. The first thing that you need to do is to click on this pledge. And it reads that this is an online self-directed learning class. It requires a high level of responsibility, dedication, and self-discipline on your part. Some people love online learning. I started online learning back in 2001 with the University of Central Florida. I was one of the pilot online classes. They said, who wants to be online? I said, me, because I was a working student. I love it. However, it does require discipline, because you're not going to be sitting in class for 4 hours. Some people just like to say, I was in class and then I'm done. No, you're going to be in class for 30 minutes on live session, and then the rest of your time, you are responsible for doing the rest. Online learning requires you to be accountable. So you're going to take this quiz that says that, listen, Miss Taylor, I know I got to do this online class. I'm going to do my own work. I'm not going to pay my baby brother to do it for me or my wife. I'm going to do it. and I'm responsible for it. I'm gonna check my own grades. You're gonna show me how to check my grades. I'm not gonna ask Miss Taylor, did I turn something in? Because I'm gonna know how to do that myself. I agree to be responsible for myself. I'm gonna take this quiz. I hit the green button. And you only have to raise your right hand one time for the rest of the class. You are affirming that you have not received any unauthorized help, i.e., your baby brother did not do this work for you. And you are saying, yes, I agree. I agree. I'm doing my own work for the rest of the class. Go ahead and hit submit. Do it now. Once you do that, now you have access to all the work in the class. If you don't do that, you don't have access to the work in the class. If you don't do that, and there are going to be people that don't watch my video that are not here right now, and they're not going to do that, and they're going to say, Miss Taylor, I don't have access to any of the class. Please tell your friends. Now, once you do that, I'm just going to go back to the home because I just want to make it easy for you to see. And then I'm going to show you the other way. Look at that. I got a grade already. I did my online pledge. I'm going to go back down to week 1. And now the next thing I'm going to do is activate my book, because you do have a book and it's an online book. How do I do that? Right there, it says connect to your online book. Let's click it. I want you to notice something. It actually took me to the modules. How do I know that? If you look off to the left, you see how the modules is highlighted? Because it's probably that table of contents. And so that book is right there at the top. It's the first thing that you see. Even if I didn't want to click on home and click week 1, and I just clicked here on modules, it takes me there, because remember, the home page is just a bunch of shortcuts. Right at the top, it says activate my subscription. Let me go ahead and do it. I'm going to click that button. And it's magical. That's it. My book is ready to go. Now, technically, I could, now that I'm ready to go, I could just go back here to home. This is not how I'm going to show you a different way, because you don't have to keep doing it this way. I just want to orientate you to where you are on the page. I could scroll back down and go back down to week 1 and just go to the next thing, which is that live participation question. But there's one thing that's not here, is the actual book. So where is the books? Let me show you where it is. Let's go ahead and go to modules. So get off our shortcut page. Now that I've activated my book, I could click right here to connect to my book, but I don't want you to read the whole book. I just want you to read the book, the chapters in the book that relate to what we're talking about. So what I want you to do right now is scroll down a little bit. Let's stop right here. I've actually put some videos up. These are some of the things that we'll be talking about. We'll talk about what's an elevator pitch. We'll talk about setting up LinkedIn, employment scams, mock interview do's and don'ts. These are videos I'll show throughout the class. So you don't have to look at any of that now. We'll do that together. There's that help button, if you remember from the shortcut. It tells you what to do if you need any support. Most times it'll give you numbers to reach out for tech support. There's that. Here is another way that you can access the live session, right? I gave you my shortcuts, but if you just want to go to modules, it tells you how to get onto Teams if you've never done that before. Clearly, you guys all have. You're here. But you can click that blue link right there where it says online live. Some of you may have done that to get on because you didn't know about the little shortcut. Either way, it takes you there. Even the previous recordings, you can click on that last one there. It'll still take you to that page where I showed you. So there's 2 ways. You can use my shortcut on the home page, or you can come to modules and you can click it right there. Because remember, these little boxes, these are actually called modules. That's all that is. Make sense? All right. Now, we just took our online pledge, right? And we know that because we got our little check box, which allowed us, which we didn't realize, to now go into week 1. And the very first thing we want to pay attention to is what we need to read. So let's go ahead and click on it. And it says that for week 1, we're supposed to read what? Chapters 1, chapter 2, don't think 3, chapter 7. 3 is not applicable right now. I want you to read chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 7. For preparation for tomorrow, read chapter 1. We're going to be getting into starting your career plan. Tomorrow is one of the most important days, even for those of you, sorry, Lorenz, I know you don't want to come, but tomorrow is an important day. If you don't do anything else, make sure you watch that video for tomorrow or come. If you mess up tomorrow, you're going to get lost. Please, 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 please pay attention tomorrow. All right? Read chapter 1 in preparation for it. So all you have to do is click on it because we've already activated our subscription. So we just click on it. And it will pull up chapter 1 for you. My second computer is just slow. Sorry. So, and there is chapter 1, right? I think some of your campuses even allow you to print it out. If you're like me, you're old school and you like to look at it like that. So that's your book. Just go up here. See, it lets you download it if you want to. Close that out. Now, the second thing that you want to do is obviously, now we're in week 1. Ms. Taylor's going to give me my live participation question. I know where my chapters are. How do I answer the question? I want you to go hit next. It's just going to take you to the next thing, right? You can always go back to modules, scroll down to week 1, and you'll see it, live participation question, but it's right before this one. So you're going to hit next, and it's going to take you right to that live participation question. How do you answer a question? How do you do any of the assignments online? Here's what you do. You'll first notice that for the live participation questions, they're not going to be on the assignment. It says, answer the question given, that's it, should say to you, look at me, given to you in the live conference. So where do you get the question from? The live conference. Either coming or watching the video. You're ready to answer the question. You're going to hit this green button, start assignment. Now, it's going to give you 3 different ways, well, more than 3 actually, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways to upload your answer. If you use Word and you do it in Word, none of your participation questions will require you to do that. But some people just like typing in Word. That's do your thing. And you wanted to upload, all you had to do was click upload. I'm in Word. It says file upload option. This is an option. Click upload. Go to your assignment and hit OK. And once you do that, you scroll down and you hit submit. If you are not uploading, you have the option to go to the next one. It's called text entry. 100% of your participation questions will be done in, well, yes, well, 99% will be done in text entry. Ms. Taylor says, what is the color of the sky? That's my question. That's not your question, but let's pretend. I need to answer it. I'm going to answer it in a complete sentence. She's going to give me instructions on how to answer it. Please answer in a complete sentence what the color of the sky is. The color of the sky is blue. Scroll down, hit submit. You've gotten your participation for today. There's one assignment that you will be required to do a video on. Well, not required. There's an option to do a video. And if you wanted to do that, you could go down here. Let me cancel this. You can actually go down there and use the webcam. Right? If I didn't want to use text, right? Y'all see it right here where it says webcam. You can record yourself. Or you can upload a video. We'll talk about that when we get into elevator pitch next week. Now, some of you use Google Drive. If you didn't have your own drive on your computer and you save stuff on Google Drive, you can upload it. Now, let me say something. If you're using Google Drive, please make sure you are uploading a file, because a lot of times I've seen people use Google Drive and it sends me a link. So make sure if you're posting stuff from Google or Microsoft Office, which are their cloud-based drives, that I can access the file, because I'm just going to send it back and say, I can't open this thing. So make sure you always double check your work if you're uploading stuff from the drives. But once you're done with that, now you have attendance. Now, all assignments, so let's go next. Like I said, in addition to your live participation question. So let's say we're done. We're about to get out of here. Ms. Taylor gave me my live participation question. I answered it. I need to go have something to eat. I'm starved. Go have your food. I have an assignment. You don't have to do it right now. I'm in the morning class. That's okay. I can't get back to my computer till 8 o'clock tonight. But you got until Sunday. You can do it at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Do you? Just do it before Sunday. This assignment, those that are worth 40% of your grade, don't confuse it with the participation question. Ms. Taylor said you actually have an assignment every day that's separate from the participation question. Y'all remember that, right? So here is your actual assignment for today. Let's read it. It says that your assignment is about your online presence and potential employers. It's worth 100 points. It's available from today until Sunday at 11:59. And I can submit it using the text entry box. I can file upload it. All right, so let's read it together. It says that your online presence and potential employers. What Ms. Taylor wants to know is, how can an online presence, i.e., LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., enhance your career and access to potential employers? And she wants me to give her at least 2 examples. So what am I going to do? I'm going to tell her how it can enhance my career, and I'm going to give her 2 examples. Well, what if I don't know anything about that? I need to start by reading chapter 1. But does that mean I have to give her the answer specifically from chapter 1? No. You can also Google it. You can, if you feel like, well, don't just give me your opinion. So either Google it, read chapter 1, give me what you think, how an online presence can enhance your career and access to potential employers. Is there a word count? Does it say word count? No. So there's no word count on this particular assignment. Does that mean I can put 2 words? Not if you want 100 points. I want you to answer the question that's being asked. How can it enhance how can that online presence enhance your career? And give me 2 examples. Easy. Yes? All right, that's how you answer. So I've shown you how to do participation question, which is very similar to the assignment. One's just participation question, one is the actual assignment. This is how every day will look. The participation question closes at 12:30. This one doesn't close until Sunday. Because even if you go back to the participation question, you'll see it right at the top. What does it say? It says it opens at midnight every day and it closes right here at 12:30. So nobody needs to say at what time. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be a little flexible over the next few days because people are coming and going. People are getting, added, dropped, all that kind of stuff. So I do give a little bit of leeway in the first couple of days because I know what you guys are dealing with. All right. All right. So let me show you a few more things and then we're going to be out of here. Okay. Your grades right here. Let's click on it. Ms. Taylor said that we need to monitor our own progress. How do we do that? Well, you can always go to grades and it tells you where you are. Now, right now, it thinks I'm a student because I'm masquerading as a student. The first assignment is participation question. Did I do my participation question? No, I did not. How do I know that? Because there's a little dash. That dash says I did not turn anything in yet. I thought I did my participation question. Is there a dash there? You didn't do it. Maybe you forgot to hit submit. Maybe your internet glitched. There's nothing there. So what do you need to do? You need to click in. There's a little shortcut. You can click, hit start the assignment, put that participation question in and hit submit, and then come back here. And if you did hit submit, this little dash will turn into a little piece of paper with squiggly lines on it. That means you turned it in. Give yourself a thumbs up. Oh, I turned my work in. Miss Taylor just hasn't graded it yet. Let me come back tomorrow because I'm anxious. I come back tomorrow, I check my grades, and I see 100 out of 100. I can monitor my own progress. All of my assignments, don't scroll down, I don't want y'all getting nervous, are right here. If I got 50 out of 100, there'll be a little piece of paper when Miss Taylor's talking to me. Let me read it to see what she's talking about. Sam, I told you to give me 2 examples. You only gave me 1. I'm going to let you redo this, but get it done by tomorrow. Oh, there she is. Let me redo it. There's always going to be a note if you get less than 60% of what you did wrong. Most times I'll give you an opportunity to resubmit. I'll give you 1 chance to resubmit. Any questions? Any questions about the online modality at all? Oh, let me show you this, most important. Every day I give announcements, and you notice here, if I went back to my home screen, you see how it's keeping track of what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do? It's already told me that because right now, what y'all didn't see this before because I wasn't masquerading as a student. Now that I'm masquerading as a student, it put all of this week's work up here. Isn't that neat? So you can kind of see here, okay, and yeah, you can use that shortcut too, right? To get to your assignments. I know I did my welcome. That's an announcement. She want to tell me blah, blah, blah. There's my conference question. There's that first assignment that's due today. Let me scroll down. There's tomorrow's live participation question. Now, this one is not going to open up until tomorrow because we can't access the participation questions on a daily basis. Except on a daily basis. But if I wanted to look at tomorrow's assignment, I can do that now. I can look and see what that's about because I got 2 assignments tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, there's that live participation question again. I don't know why Thursday's not up here. I'll look in a minute. Y'all see that? That's just a little shortcut, but you don't have to worry about all that. Now, let's go to announcements. Ms. Taylor will have an announcement, and her announcements for today tells me everything I've already told you. I introduced myself. I said the class started at 9 o'clock. Now here's important. Each campus, because you guys all know you're from different campuses, you have your own rules. If your campus hasn't told you, this is the rules that I know them unless they've changed. Orlando campus, you are required to be on campus every day from 8 to 10 a.m. in the first week, unless you've been told something different. Arbondale, you're required to be on campus the first week of this class. Brandon, you're required to be on campus the first day and midterm. Port Charlotte, you're required to be on campus by 8:30. Sanford, you're required to be on campus the first day. ATA, I think you're the first week, right? Check with your campus to see if the rules have changed. Everything else we talked about. Let's get to the important stuff. Where's that lady's phone number? If you scroll down here, there's my number. It says, please text me 689-203-4041. 689-203-4041. Here's my email, ctaylor@stc.edu. ATA, I do have an ATA account, but if you can go ahead and use this one, because this is one I use the most. Sometimes my ATA email glitches. So if you can use that one, that would be preferable for me. But you can always email me in class and I'll still get it. You can just go right here where it says inbox and you can email me here, or you can go to your Microsoft email and email me regular. Yeah? All right, my friends, any more questions on here before we get to our live conference question?
Yeah, I got a question.
Go ahead.
I see the assignments are due at 12:30 p.m. So that means
Just
I
the
got
participation question. Just the participation
Okay.
question.
all right.
Yeah, so that live participation question I was talking about, that's due
Yeah.
today by 12:30.
All right.
Sounds good. All right, now remember, this live session rarely goes this long. It always goes this long on the first day. Normally we'll be out of here within 45 minutes. Tomorrow may run long because of what we're talking about. The first week tends to run a little longer because we're still getting our way around. But weeks 2, 3, and 4, we're in and out for the most part. All right. All right. So let's get back to the presentation. Here we go. My phone's going crazy. I hope it's not a student. All right. So just waiting for this thing to move. All right, we did our walkthrough. Here is your live participation question for today. I know you've been highly anticipating it, only to be let down. What do you hope to gain from this course? What do you, I know. You're like, oh my God, what's the question? What do you hope to gain from this course? Answer in a complete sentence. Don't say to graduate knowledge. Answer in a complete sentence. What do you hope to gain from this class? Please answer this question by 12:30 for attendance. I see 40 people. I need all 40 to get attendance. Any questions, my friends? Well, guess what? If you're done with me, then you are free. I was trying to rhyme. Okay. Let me stop being corny. Okay. Fine. All right, fine. We're done for the day, my friends. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. I know you're tired. I know you go have your coffee. I'll see you guys back here. Hasta mañana. Hasta luego, my friends. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Thank you, honey. You can still call me. You can still text me. All right? We're out of here, but we're still in class. All right, my friends. Have a great day. Bye-bye.